totally jamming out right now. It's such a dope song. Alicia Keys, A Woman's Worth. That's hot. What's up? I'm gonna make a quick one this evening. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Laura. Ooh, Laura, you're gonna love this one. Hey, lady. Yeah, I'm gonna make a super quick one tonight. But I wanted to just kind of tap in for a second, and then, I don't know, it's Friday night. I'm gonna light some candles and just kind of have a girl pampering night. So in need of that, you know, when just things are going so stressful and you're like, okay, everything's chaos. I need to just zen in my space and, you know, paint my nails, take a shower, all that fun stuff. So, but I felt inspired. Somebody had asked a question earlier this week about Reiki energy and chi energy and all that stuff. That's why I'm like, Laura, you're going to love this shit. Laura is an amazing Qigong master, so anybody looking to study a little bit more of that, definitely look her up. But as this week kind of progressed, I was like, okay, I really, really, really want to get back into my, I used to bring in all of this like chi energy and life force energy into my body, and then spin it around my body. I took a course in Chicago on Qigong, and so it's such a powerful energy. And I used to do it all the time, and I kind of got a little bit away from it. So I've been doing this every morning now, kind of mixed with like my own meditation. You know, it's like, yes, meditation's really great for calming your mind and doing all that stuff. And I kind of like to do a meditation where it's very guided and intention-based, and then definitely chi-based. And I hit the gym today also, had an amazing kick-ass workout, and consciously started spiraling this energy through my body as I'm working out. And it increased just my level of motivation for it and groundedness, and yet at the same time, I had so much more energy. So I thought, with a combination of what I've been doing and someone really asking specifically about Reiki, but Reiki and Chi and all that stuff goes hand in hand, and I know a lot of people really are inspired to get, you know, certified with Reiki and all that stuff, and I would also love to remind and offer that everyone, Jerry, what's up? Oh my God, I owe you an email, honey. I would just like to remind everybody that you have this force within you, and it's so powerful, and just being able to tap into it and knowing how to do that and spiraling that around. Yes, Laura, absolutely. You can definitely show some people. Speaking of, you need to make a video on showing people how to bring in some Qigong energy and how to spiral it around and all that stuff. That would be super badass. Laura's amazing at that. Let me check in with Kiko, brother. I love you. We had an amazing phone call earlier. Okay, wait. Hang on. Pause 2 seconds. Many messages all over the place, and it's going to pause my shit. I can't do anything about that. I didn't put it in airplane mode. Anyways, what up, brother? Okay. What's up, Joshua? Hi, how are you? Okay, so I just want to inspire everyone, and well, hopefully you'll be inspired, whatever happens out of this. But with really working with this energy and how it correlates with our body, and how we get to tap into the energy of the universe, and how we get more intuitive abilities through it, and how we can just expand our hearts more for greater love. And it's the life force energy of absolutely everything. I'm going to talk about a little maybe controversial things. I will be talking about masturbation. Just going to throw that out there, so everybody brace yourselves. Shit, I may as well just say it right now. So, in having a recent conversation, just to kind of throw it out there, your that's part, like your sexual energy and all that stuff. And especially this is for men too, because, and not that I'm a guy, so just hold it for a second. But you can go and do your own research on this stuff too, right? It's such a powerful part of your life force energy. It is your life force energy. And so when you just kind of release that, your body has to replenish it in some way or form, which hence is why you get kind of tired like afterwards, either after sex or after something like that. And you're depleting it within you, and you're actually stealing it from your future self. That was a super amazing deep conversation that I got into with a gentleman this last couple days on that, and he shared that part with me. That part I didn't even know. And so all of this encompassing is such powerful energy. I love that I say masturbation and then I dropped a few viewers. This isn't a course, people. This isn't a course. But anyways, so getting to the point. I said I was going to make this quick. The book that I was inspired to read from this particular evening is actually called Biofield. And it even says the quest for the secret force of the universe. And so as I was kind of guiding through my books, I was like, all right, what's going to best serve this overall segment? I have another one called The Wonders, expanding and understanding the chakras, which all of that is chi and life force energy and all that fun stuff, right? But just getting really centered and present with the question particularly. And again, if you guys are new with Tap In, feel free to write a question. If anything I say you want me to kind of like expand on, I basically take the question and then use these books to just kind of open it up and see what the answer is. I believe that universe, spirit, God, whatever it is you want to call it, shares messages and insights through many different resources, and this being one of them. Sometimes we need an external resource to have us really tap in and listen to our conscious awareness, and be able to see and think clearly and feel clearly. And so what would be really beneficial to share as far as the greatest insight about chi and life force energy? Hi, James. You're going to like this one too. All right. Dune and Jan. Let's see. Also refined the scientific protocol. I don't know what we're talking about. Protocol. Okay, we're going to keep going. They decided that all REG studies should allow the same design. Each participant sitting in front of the machine would undergo 3 tests of equal length. Okay. Bias, they're talking about a test. When participants press a button, so it sounds like they're measuring energy. That one's not really feeling totally in sync with that. She was often, let's see. I'm not getting it on this one. Should design the look and feel of experiments. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do that again. Sometimes if we ask a question a little bit more clearly. Hi, James. A strong, clear message on how chi can benefit us. According to this theory, Pribram's theory, when you first notice something, certain frequencies resonate in the neurons of the brain. These neurons send information about these frequencies to another set of neurons. The second set of neurons make a Fourier translation. Not sure of that word, but that's cool. Google later. Translations of these resonances and send the resulting information to a third set of neurons. This is awesome. I geek out on this shit. Like, I really do. Okay. And Laura, you totally feel free to chime in on this one because I know you'll get this. Let's see. Which then begins to construct a pattern that eventually will make up the virtual image you create of the apple out in space on top of the fruit bowl. This threefold process makes it far easier for the brain to correlate separate images, which is easily achieved when you are dealing with wave interference, shorthand but extremely awkward with an actual real life image. So this one's called Resonating with the World. Lens of the eye picks up certain interferences. So what I'm getting from this one, and it's funny because I had this conversation with another client earlier about being able to kind of see clear images, whether you call it your third eye, whether you call it the intuition, whatever it is. And sometimes for people, closing your eyes and seeing something is really difficult, right? Which I believe that working with the energy of chi and Reiki and all that stuff can really support with. Because I think the more that you bring in that energy and spin it around your body and work with it around your body, then it opens up all different parts of your chakras, right? Hence the chakra book we'll get into in a little bit. So what it feels like, and this is a really extensive book, so without diving too deeply into it, it feels like all we are is energy. All there is energy, technically. And it can open up different parts of the body. And so some people wonder, is it your imagination? You know, like what they're talking about, if you're seeing an image in your mind, like, is it your imagination or is it reality in some other dimensional space and time? And I think, what if it's both? I think it both correlate together. And it's not the vision of whether it's in a different dimension versus reality. To me, the energy has to do with the space in between. And so the space in between our cells and our particles, and when they're talking about neurons, like, to me, the energy and the life force energy is like, well, what fires those neurons? What actually sparks that neuron to move faster and then connect to the other neuron? And so it's my strong belief that we all have control and the ability to create that the way that we want it. I believe that we all have the ability to see our neurons being fired, and if they're not firing, then we can send chi energy and Reiki energy into that area and actually get things moving faster. And I do not believe that that's actually part of our imagination. One, I've experienced it too many times for myself, and doing it on other people. I remember there was a time I was dealing with heavy anxiety. And everything in my being knew that it wasn't anxiety coming from a thought, which is what a lot of Western medicine says, like, oh, just take a pill for that or calm yourself down or whatever. It really felt like I was getting bombarded from energies outside of myself, and then it was hitting my physical body and then having an impact on my physical body. So I had to learn how to work with these energies coming from all over the place in order to either move them through my body or block them from my body if I didn't want them. But getting bombarded by so much energy, it created anxiety-like reactions in my physical body. And I was doing a meditation. I was like, I think I was 24. I was sitting in what's now popularly known as meditation, but I didn't really think of it that way. I was just like, okay, let me center myself. And I was sitting down, and I actually saw the neurons in my brain. And I saw which ones were firing out, and when I was having anxiety, right? So I saw which ones were firing out and not connecting. It's almost like my imagination or my mind's eye or whatever you want to call it saw what was not being connected. And then as soon as I visualized and sent this energy to connect these neurons together, I actually started calming down. And so it was having this different physical effect, but then I was able to work with my own energy field in order to connect the dots, so to speak. But at that time, I didn't know what Chi was. I didn't know what Reiki was. There was no YouTube videos on this. There was nobody making a live video about this. And at the same time, I was experiencing all of these things that I couldn't understand. And I'll never forget the night that I woke up and I thought my hands had fallen asleep. Like I thought maybe like the circulation was cut off or something like that, because my hands were buzzing so intensely, like, you know, when your hand goes asleep or something like that and you haven't had any blood flow in it. They were buzzing so much like that. And that's when I started really researching a little bit more about this stuff. So every single person has the ability to tap into this energy, and it's one of the strongest forces that we have. And so tonight I just wanted to kind of do like a little shout out and connect all of this stuff. I love this image on here. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like two hands and they're like connecting this like vibrant blue light. That's how I see it too, is this really, really vibrant blue light. But yeah, just inspiring you guys that everybody can tap into this energy and you can move it through your body and you can work with your body and you can heal different parts of your body. You can heal different emotional states in your body too. I'll briefly touch on, there's something called the Biofield, right? Most people know about the one layer around your physical body called the aura. You actually have multiple layers of it, right? And each one of those layers, one is mental, one's emotional, one is metaphysical, like one's astral. All of these ones, or all of these fields that kind of go outside of you. And I invite you to, like, you know, this is gonna sound funny, but like put your hands by your side and just close your eyes and see if you can, like, you know, let your hands like slowly guide outside of you and further and further and further, and see if you can just imagine where a line would be and wherever that first line would be or second line would be. And so this is something that exists, and yes, science is definitely proving this more. So any of you that are like, oh, that's a bunch of woo-woo crap, to each your own. And I love that science is actually being able to test stuff, but it's so I can't express enough how it's one of the most transformational and healing energies. And when you can tap into this yourself, you can work with these energies within your mental and your emotional body and find where there's upset and find where there's past distress, and you can actually work with it there. And then whatever is affected in this energy body, this biofield, is actually affects your physical body, and vice versa. Whatever happens in your physical body then ultimately affects your biofield. So it's profound. And I love it. Like I said, I totally geek out on this stuff, but at the same time, someone really wanted to look into Reiki energy and go study Reiki energy. And at the same time, I feel like the deeper that we go within ourselves and the deeper, more conscious awareness we have about just tapping into ourselves and getting clearer on our mindset and getting clearer on how our own energies work, you can ask for those things to be brought to you. You can ask for those awarenesses to happen. If you want to be able to feel energy in your hands, I used to get that all the time. So many people were like, I don't know how to feel energy. Like, I don't know what to do, you know? One, you can ask. And two, there's a really simple way that you can do it. If you kind of like rub your hands together like this really fast for about 30 seconds and then bring them apart, and that sort of tingling and heat sensation is one, that's chi. I mean, you just obviously rub them together and stuff like that. But if you kind of like bring them out and back together again, you can almost feel this like pulsating, magnetic sort of energy where it feels like you're pushing ever so slightly up against something. You know, when you stick magnets like at the opposite ends, so you're trying to push them together, but they're actually like repelling out. Not saying that the energy is repelling out, but you can just feel it like a cushion, something like that. But just wanted to give a few, points on that one, because it's fun and it's inspiring. I've been working a lot with it this last couple days, so more I should say, getting back to. So let me check in over here. I can relate to past anxiety issues, having lived here in Vegas for almost a year now. I'm just going to stop with that. There is an energy bombardment whenever I get to the Strip. So one of the reasons why I don't love Vegas, I love Vegas for other reasons. I don't love Vegas for the fact that like the electromagnetics, and if you guys don't know what EMF is and just the toxic levels of EMF that we have going on right now, that's messing up our chi. That's messing up our biofield. That's messing up then our physical bodies. I do so much more research on it. It's it's the other reason why, for some of you that know and some of you that don't know, my other company, Sovereign Alliance, we make tools and products and jewelry pieces that help support against these electromagnetic energy fields, and certain technologies that you can put in your room to have such a sacred space so that these energies aren't affecting your energy body and thus then your physical body. I feel like there's more and more people are starting to talk about it. I'm definitely need to make more videos on it, just to bring more awareness and how it's actually affecting us. But yes, there's all the lights, it's mostly the lights, right? All of that in Vegas that has such an impact. When I go there now, I literally get the worst headache in my entire life. And so, yes, James, there's totally things that you can do in order to help protect yourself. If you don't want to wear jewelry pieces or something like that, there's definitely ways that I can share with you on how to do that. And if anybody else has any other questions too, feel free to message me. Totally happy to share all that stuff. I like wearing jewelry pieces. I made this one through Sovereign Alliance, but and if any brief shout out, if you guys want to go check them out, it's sovereign-alliance.com. But we made this stuff because it was like, well, we're getting bombarded with all of this like energy, and I got hypersensitive to all these different energies. And it's just, ideally, we shouldn't need them. Ideally, we can harness our own chi. We can, blast out any toxic energy that's in our field. We totally have the power to do that, 100%. And I do that ritual every morning and every night before I go to sleep. I started doing it so much more now. I'll literally bring in all this chi energy and just blow it out all of my biofield layers. And just like, it's like an energetic cleansing. Or like a detox, right? It clears out the emotions, it clears out the mind, it clears out just stagnant, stuck crap. And it clears out EMF. So yes, I fully believe that we have all of the tools that we need within us in order to do that. And I have so many other things, and I'm sure so many people like you have so many things to think about and worry about. And yes, whether we go to our meditations or we go do an amazing yoga class, when we come out in traffic and we get frustrated. We come out with dealing with people that are assholes because they just exist. And like all this different stuff, we want to be able to be more centered, 100%. And all this stuff exists as well as EMF. And so how I look at it is, well, why wouldn't I want to wear a tool that's going to like give me that extra boost of energy so I don't have to do all of the work all of the time? I can clear it in the morning, I can clear it at night, but when I'm doing my like day-to-day stuff, yeah, man, it's harder to like sit there and be like, okay, I need to just go into a meditation now versus being able to put like a protective field. We use crystals in our house. We use all these different things to really bring in as much positive energy as we can. And that's kind of the other thing too, is any of you guys that have crystals in your house, I have tons of them. I love them. And their beautiful, amazing job is to absorb energy. And I love that. And all I'm going to say is if you have a lot of crystals in your house, clear them regularly. Ideally, I love doing it like on the new moon, and setting them out in front of the moon. But simple soap and water, or salt water, Himalayan salt water, works really well. For the reason being is that I'm staring at that nice little array of crystals that we have. They absorb energy, and that's their job, and they love it. And yet at the same time, we have this overabundance and bombardment of EMF energies now, and so they're actually taking on those energies and then amplifying them. So we need to be able to clear them more so that then it doesn't double the amount of EMF energies that are in our house. So just thought, I'm going on a tangent, but just thought I would share that. Hang on. So James, stay away from the strip as much as I can if I have to DJ down there. I'm immersed in it working at the gym. Exactly. But even your DJ, like all that stuff, you need to cover that with like EMF stuff for real. Because your hands are like right on it too. Hey Joel, how are you? Pure energy, higher consciousness, connect the dots. Those are a lot of kick-ass hashtags. Thank you. Yes, I believe in, like, I have my technology on my phone. I have it all over my room. I wear it. I have, I don't go travel anywhere without it, right? There was a time that, yeah, I was kind of slacking on it. And then now I'm just like, wow, I'm seeing that it shows up so differently when I put myself in that space. Like I sleep so more peacefully in my room than when I'm any other place, because I mean, my room is gridded, like gridded out with different technologies and support to block out EMF, and other energies that run on the same vibrational wavelength as EMF, and that's a much more advanced conversation that I won't get into right now. But yeah, hashtag being empathic and psychic problems. So I want to open one more chapter in this book, in the Helping Understand the Chakras, just to kind of give like a full rounded, what did I just do? Okay. Perspective on things. So talking about Chi and Reiki and all that stuff. Let's see. When we ourselves suggest to individuals that observation be the modality that they use in their existence to expand their existence, we are suggesting that this observation move through the sixth chakra and seventh chakra. Interesting. Hang on. So when we ourselves suggest the individuals that observation be the modality that they use in their existence to expand their existence, we are suggesting that this observation move through the sixth and seventh chakra. In effect, we are suggesting that individuals begin to perceive first that which they can through the fifth chakras or five senses, and then expand the perception to that which can perceive through the sixth chakra, or hence sixth sense. In other words, begin to observe the physical reality and then move beyond the physical, third dimensional reality they exist in, such that they will perceive patterns and interconnection of energy within themselves and around themselves. Okay, this is badass. Because yes, I was having this conversation with one of my clients about being able to see and perceive. Laura, yep, awesome. We got the thumbs up from Laura. being able to see and perceive energies. Like cramp. Okay, back again. And so one of the ways to kind of, if you guys are struggling with that, or if you want to share how to do this with somebody else, right? One of the ways that you can help support that, what's up, Sonia? Is have them tangibly create, or not create, have them tangibly hold something. Like give them an apple, give them a ball, give them whatever it is. And have them close their eyes and visualize that in their mind's eye. So they're feeling the tangible. And kind of, if they can then pick up on what they hear at that time, like using all of the five senses, hence, right? That we tangibly or more tangibly are aware of. And then past that, then get into the kind of everything else, the sixth and the seventh, and the things that aren't there, that are, but it's not always, it's the space in between. It's like, if I can feel my hands touching like this, if I can then pull them apart, and if I feel a space in between, even though now they're technically apart, I won't get into physics on that. Even though they're technically apart, if I can feel something in between that, now you just expanded your whole experience and awareness and tapped in to chi. And then you can actually bring in more. There's like a whole qigong, like breathing technique and stuff like that you can bring in more of this energy. And then I start blasting it, like sending it through my hands. And then it actually, like, it starts to tingle more. It starts to get hotter. That's where then Reiki comes in, right? Because that's the sort of healing energy. That's my connection. That's the healing energy that they're using technically in Reiki. I did this on her back was hurting, and she was actually ironing. It's just, right? And so I brought in all of this energy, and then I sent it out my hands, and I was just having my hands on her back. And she was like, what the hell are you doing? Your hands are burning. And she thought that I was like heating them up on something. And she's like, are you hot? Are you like, what's going on? I was like, no. Because when you're bringing it through, you can't feel the difference between the chi energy, right? It's you. I can. It actually made me kind of a little bit warm, and I feel like tingles in my body. But I had my hands on her back, and she all of a sudden she took the iron and she like started shaking it, and she's like, what the hell? And the whole iron turned off in her hands. I'm not kidding. I'm so not making this up. And it was a brand new iron. So the iron turned off in her hands. So she goes, she gets up, and she was going to go unplug it to plug it back in. And then right before she even touched the cord to unplug it, I pick it up to see what's wrong with it. Why? Because I don't know. I want to help solve something. Masculine side. And so I pick it up, and then it turns on in my hand. And she just like looked at me like that's a whole other thing. But either way, chi energy, it's kinetic. It's all kinetic energy. And how we use it, you either use it for positive or you can use it for negative. Reiki is very healing. I'm always very particular about who I have work on me, just because different energies can merge with different energies, right? That's vague, but I'm not going to say any more about that. So I would just say keep in mind and just be really, really, really particular on who's working on you, and bring in your own chi energy and start putting it on your body and do it for yourself. That's also a really, really profound way to express self-love. So yes. Hey, Octavia. Love Qigong. Hey, Rohan, what's going on? Okay. If anybody has any questions, feel free to write them right now. What's going on with this? I'm going to end this here in a second. I'm going to see if there's anything else profound. that would like to be shared. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what this is going to say, but this will be the last thing that I read for this. So, getting in touch with your own chi and Reiki energy for expansion, enlightenment, love, all that fun stuff. What time is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. As the interconnection between the center of advancement with the center of enlightenment, there is a greater connection between the center of enlightenment and the center of advancement than most of the others. I don't know what the others are yet. However, it is only because of the center of advancement, hey, Lucinda. That's my mama. We're talking about chi energy, mama. Would you like to chime in? You know lots about chi energy. And I'm reading about the book on chakras. Let's see. However, let's see. It is only because of the center of advancement is used as the key to open the doors. The doorway to the spiritual essence that will, in effect, move you eventually into the God, Goddess, all that is essence. I'm just going to stop there because I feel like that's a solid conclusion into verifying. I don't want to say verifying, but it's a final conclusion into just everything that energy is. You know, if part of our purpose, like, yes, you guys can do whatever you want to do with your daily life, and yet I'm such a strong believer that part of our purpose here is to get reconnected, and getting reconnected with ourselves and our consciousness, and ultimately that bigger, higher source, God, consciousness, whatever you want to call it for you. And I feel like the more that we go inward and the more that we develop those energy skills for ourselves, the greater awareness and the greater connection we're going to have to that ultimate higher awareness. That's your soul. That's your whole everything. These bodies are finite and they will disappear eventually. And yet at the same time, they have this amazing, powerful energy running through them that gives you the opportunity to just bring in and be a conduit for any energy you want. I choose to use the positive energy. Not going to judge anybody else. We live in a dualistic society, right? But it's who we are. And technically, if you really want to get down to it, it's our birthright. If you want to go even further, that's the essence of our legacy. Like, you can do and you can create and you can build whatever you want to on this planet. Anything that your mind wants you to create. But your ultimate legacy is getting reconnected with that ultimate energy life force that gets you reconnected to that bigger thing that's outside of this physical, limited form. And so that's my geek out session about chi and energy and all that. And it's who we are. It's ultimately who we are. Hey Mark, how are you? I'm about to end the video, but we're just talking about chi and energy and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for the hearts. This has been a fun one. I'm gonna go lounge and just have a good night. I've been working my butt off and I'm gonna go paint my toenails. That's really what's gonna happen right now. Thanks, Laura. So my goal is to do another tap in on Monday. Again, I always do them around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys have any questions, I love talking about energy. I love talking about relationships. Sorry, you can watch it later, hon. But yeah, if you guys ever want me to ask any questions for you doing this whole tap-in process, feel free to send me a private message, and I'd be happy to do so. So much love. Send you guys so much energy. Little blast of chi through, yes, I can send it through. So a little blast of love, expanding consciousness and awareness energy right through the camera. So hoping you receive that. And we're still in this waxing period of the moon. So continue creating and building and manifesting and bringing anything that you want into your life. And the more chi energy that you do, or that you use, the more you can actually create and manifest and expand more. Thank you for all the hearts. I love you guys so much. Love and light. Thank you, Sonia. And send me a message if